dead. I was built from strong threads. Watch my working just like COVID-19. It's fun to be a tough spread. Now I got your attention. Let's switch dimensions. I think they need me in this competition. Thanks to influences. Also envision my path so I complete the mission. Yeah, I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, I'll say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. Yes.
Glass House.
Welcome. It's your boy Mac Mans. Welcome back to The Last Sip. I want to thank y'all for tuning in today. Let's give another round of applause for the crowd. Here at The Last Sip, I do not spill tea. I keep a kettle that boils over. And I want to let y'all know that we are going to start the show as we always do with the agua. Here we get a cheer for that, people. Y'all know it's been hot. I don't know where you located in the United States, but it's hot. We need this right here. I want to thank all y'all following me on YouTube at Motivational Muscle 74. That's muscle spelled M-U-Z-C-L-E. And also those following me on Facebook at Ontario Hill Blue Checkmark Verified. Thank you. Also, before I start the show, I'm going to give y'all a little shout out to this here. That's right, Rice Krispie Treats, chocolatey peanut butter. Y'all, I'm not a big fan of sweets. If you know me, you already know this. But man, I had to get these, man. I devoured these babies. Hey, it's peanut butter Rice Krispies with a light, thin coating of chocolate at the bottom. Hey, you gotta go to them. Gotta go to your local store and get them. I got them mine from Dollar General. Man, love these. Check them out when you get a chance to. Let's give an applause for them because they are off the chain. Y'all, today's story is, we going bananas today. You understand? We going bananas. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Today I have a couple of subjects that I think are going to be really, really important to y'all, man. They really what, as they say, kind of pop culture-ish, one of the subjects. Today's beginning subject is going to be called Call of Duty. And if y'all know anything about the Call of Duty, yeah, it's like that. Y'all, I'm basically going to speak on the incident that happened July 14th in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now, if you've been underneath the rock, let me inform you what happened. On July 14th, in Butler, Pennsylvania, they had a Republican rally, Trump. And during that time, there was an assassination attempt on the ex-president. What? Yeah, assassination attempt on the ex-president. Some young man, 20-year-old man, 20-year-old young fella, by the age, what was this young man's name? If I can't get his name to get it right, because I don't want to mess his name up. Hold on here. His name was Thomas Matthew Crooks. Thomas Matthew Crooks. Now, when I first heard about this, now I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I got white friends, white buddies, and the first thing a lot of them thought, and be honest, that it was a black man had did this. But me being who I am, I already know this crime. This is not a minority type crime. This is out of our league. We don't do things like this. Now, we might have, if somebody said there was a bunch of guys waiting outside the White House or something to jump on you, you know, being kind of funny about the situation, then that's us. But crimes like this, we don't have nothing to do with. These are crimes that take a lot of elaborate planning. They take a lot of tactics. And it's something government level that we don't try to mess with. We don't mess with stuff like this. We just don't. Well, I mean by we, I mean my brown skin people, you know. This is something that we try not to do things like this. We're already been in enough trouble as it is when we have to deal with government. So we try not to get involved in situations like this because this is something that goes above and beyond the spectrum of how we handle things. I mean, look, for years, the Million Man March, the march, you know, back in the day with Martin Luther King, and we always been that way. It's like we always try to do more negotiating instead of going forceful at the situation. That being said, I'm gonna give you a little bit of specs and information on this situation, because with me, I don't know about you, but I'm always thinking about conspiracy and how things run. Now, this whole situation just sounds fishy how it went down. And the fact that it didn't get handled the way it should have is weird to me. Because here, I'm going to hear me out. I'm not no big Trump fan, but I'm not a big Biden fan either. I think right now we're voting for the less of two evils. So forgive me if I say that, it's just where I feel about it, But being an American citizen, we all got to look out for each other, man. This is real. That could have been anybody up there going for office, getting shot at. So when I looked at the situation, I was like, something don't seem right. So I got to doing more digging. You know how do I get information? I went to digging. And y'all, this is what I got so far after doing the digging. See my little piece of paper here. Okay, so first of all, now they talked to the boy's father after the situation happened. Now his father said that he left the house around 11 a.m. with a rifle to go to the shooting range. That's where his father thought he was going. Now I'm asking you, 20-year-old young man with a rifle. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me. I know when I was at that age, emotions were still between the age of, I'll be honest, y'all, let's keep it real. Between the age of 13 or 14 and between the age of 13 and 14 and being an adult, we have situations to where it's kind of hard for us to think mentally and continue to think the way we're supposed to think because we are very emotional during that time at that age. So we have to be careful on how we do things, how we talk to people, how we deal with people. Because during that age, everything hurts you to the soul. So the fact that this young man had access to a rifle, assault rifle, and was on the way to the shooting range at 11 a.m., that would alert me to begin with. That just doesn't sound right. Well, here's where it gets weird. There was multiple footage and videos placed up after the fact of people spotting this young man on top of this building. And you can literally hear these people saying to the police, to security, there's someone on top of the building, something doesn't look right, we need to get him down. Now, I'm watching the videos myself. If you get on Facebook or YouTube, you can see these videos of these people literally speaking this out loud and saying that this was going on. Now, I don't know who was in charge of security detail that day or what was going on, but nobody reacted. Police received multiple tips about that strange man or the assailant sitting on top of the building. They had been receiving tips all day long. Now, the police had access to the suspect 30 minutes before the attempt. What happened was there was a police officer that noticed a young man up on top of the building. So he and another officer got up there. Once the officer got up there, the young man pointed the gun at the officer ducked down to not get shot. Moments later is when the gunshots rang out. So that was an attempt that they had to stop this. Now, not only did that happen, but an hour to half an hour earlier, there was a police officer, law enforcement officer, who took pictures and vlogged the pictures. Now, you know what the vlog is. They vlogged the pictures to multiple federal and state government officials dealing with security and police. So they had access to this the whole time. But nothing still was done. Now, what gets me is the young man. Now, a lot of people thought, well, maybe it was somebody that was a Democrat or some type of group. No, this young man was a conservative. He was a Republican. Now, what I should alert you is because right now, we got to be real with ourselves, y'all. Donald Trump's going to be president. Yeah, he's going to be president. I don't care what nobody else say, whatever. The alternative is either him or, bless his soul, or an old guy who continues to fall asleep at the helm. So no matter what we went through, no matter what happened, they tried. I mean, there has been a push to try not to get Trump in office. They tried it with the felony charges, by the way, which some of them are getting dropped now. And for that, the government and our judicial system needs to be slapped in the face. Because if that had been Larry, Joe, or Mo with 30 felonies, they'd be in jail right now. So, I see you there, Jeff. Yeah, I gotta give him credit, bro. He like 50 Cent. Many men wish death upon me. Hey, the man is, hey, right now he bulletproof, baby. I can't even lie, man. He bulletproof. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They tried, bro. The man bulletproof, Jeff. He really is right now. But the case gets even weirder, like I said, man, because regardless of what side of the fence I'm on, I'm still American. And the fact that all this stuff happened, and the crazy thing is, okay, so right now, they're trying to say that there's no way that this young man got up there unnoticed. And I'm asking myself, how did he get up there unnoticed? They did a sky cam, they did a drone to check out the area. There was no way for him to get up there. There was no way to get in the entrance to get up there with a gun. How did he do this? And I got my theory on this, but I'm gonna keep going into facts and I gave my theory on the situation. So now we got the fact that the young man was up there. He was noted and spotted up there. And I don't understand why no one made the attempt to stop him. Jeff, buddy, oh my God, I'm gonna give you an applause for that, Jeff. Give you applause. Jeff just said, united we stand, they are trying to divide us. Jeff, hey buddy, don't hurt the messenger. I'm getting there. Just stay tuned, Jeff. I got one for you because I want you to communicate me on this. I got one for you. Okay, so he got up there. Nobody knows how he got there. Also, the fact that this young man was 20 years old and possessed that type of artillery. See, I'm upset with the parents too because the parents had a gun like that. I'm a guarantee you that was not his gun. Now they might say there's things, but that was the parents' arsenal. This young man had access to that arsenal. And me coming from a big city area, coming from the hood where there's gun violence every day, I've always taught my kids about gun safety. It is not the weapon, it is the person that wields it. And for the fact this 20-year-old who already going through a bunch of emotions, they don't know what the motive is. I can probably guess, but I seen the young man, I can probably guess. But the fact that he was upset and went out there. Now, this young man went on a mission knowing that he can maybe not come back. This was a mission knowing that if he attempted to do this and missed, he was going to die. So he had to make up in his mind that he was going to do this. Raj E3, what's up, man? I see you, man. How you doing, bro? Much love. So we're gonna go into more situations. This should never happen, y'all. This situation should never happen. It was too many times to stop this. From the officer that took the vlog and sent it, from the people in the videos that were taking pictures and telling there was somebody up there. Here's the killer. So if you watch the news lately, Republican representative from Tennessee, Tim Burchett, is blaming the head of security, Kimberly Cheadle, who's a Democrat, for the situation. What he's saying is, now hear me out. He's saying is, when he spoke, he said there was this has a sin of a DEI person letting this happen. Okay, now, if you don't know what DEI is a secret government, allegedly secret government code for a certain group of people. I looked it up. It stood for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, that can stand for anybody, and we're not going to go there. I don't want nobody mad at me. It can stand for a certain type of community as far as alphabets, brown skin, or those who feel disenfranchised by the country. I'll leave it at that. But the fact that that was brought up makes no difference to me. I'm going to tell you why. Kimberly Cheadle used to work at PepsiCo. She was one of the people at PepsiCo, head representative at PepsiCo. She got sworn to office by Joe Biden, a Democrat. Now, why I bring that up, I'll tell you why. Now, Jeff, we're going to get to what you were talking about. I'm upset because when Representative House Member Tim Burchett brought that up, He made sure to bring that pact up that she was a DEI and a Democratic representative. That's the problem right now with our government. That separation right there. Now, I've seen a lot. Now, we've all watched shows where we've seen stuff like this reenacted out through shows, although it be fictional, non-fictional. It doesn't really matter what it is, if it's true or not. We've seen situations where people have had things happen. Now, who's not to say this is all a big setup or cover up to take Trump out, but then they're going to blame it on the other side, and that keeps the two sides going at it. So instead of finding the real factors behind it, automatically blame it on the other side. So now you got two sides going at it. And people, we never stay in the middle. We either take one side or the other. If your mom and dad are arguing, you take one side or the other. Brother and sister arguing, you take one side or the other. You watch sport games. You don't watch a game between the Bulls or the Lakers and Celtics and say, I'm going to go in the middle. No, I'm watching for enjoyment. No, you're not. You're watching for the Celtics or you're watching for the Bulls. Or the Lakers. Jeff, thank you, Jeff. I'm giving you an applause. You guys, the interaction, I love this. Jeff made a comment that doesn't matter what color or what sex you are, as long as you do the best of your job. That's what I'm talking about. What made me mad about that, Jeff, was when he spoke and he made sure to mention that it was a female, and he made sure to mention that it was a DEI. He considered DEI. And I'll tell you again, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. That made me mad because it shouldn't be that way. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What should matter is if the job was not done or right or not. So to take this moment where we should be focusing on unifying the country and find out the motive this young man had, when you get the motive, it'll tell you what happened, which will actually tell you how he got up there. Instead, you're working on diversity tactics right now. Guess what happens between that? Then you start diversify. All of a sudden, it's black against white, Republican versus Democrat. We already know that. That's the issue with our country. We can't seem to get along. Sometimes you have to have a gray area. There has to be gray. It cannot all be black and white all the time. You have to have an area in the middle sometimes, because that is where, if you want to see a problem get fixed, have a middle area. When you have gangs, I'm not going to send my gang leader to your territory, because then he has the capability of being captured. You're not going to send your gang leader to my territory, because no, we find a neutral area to meet in. You're right, Raj E3. Nobody asked for diversity in sport agents. We all know who they are. Okay, correct. It doesn't matter, because they all worried about getting that dollar. And that's the issue with our government right now. We're trying to push together all these. You guys, I know y'all heard about the situations that I'm on Prop 22, 24. I forgot what they're calling it, about the elitist or the rich are trying to take care of the poor, this and that. Here's the thing, y'all. When you're in America, everybody has put into the pot. Middle class people, we put into the pot a lot, and we're kind of stuck. We're too poor to get anything. We make too much to get anything from the government, and we don't make enough to get anything from our job. That's the issue. So we have to put into the situation and hope. I would never see my Social Security. I'll be 50 years old this year. God bless. I'll never see my Social Security at all. I pay into the system. I won't see it. But that doesn't mean I didn't mind helping someone else who needed it. Now, if you're on your butt sitting at home, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the one thing about Donald Trump I did like, and y'all, if you understand, either call the BrewLine 501-259-6788. You can always call the BrewLine; it's always open, or you can communicate with me on here on Facebook or YouTube. But the one thing I will say about Donald Trump is when he got in office as a middle class person, I was pretty happy, because those who are sitting at home not doing nothing, they didn't deserve anything. You sit at home and don't. He who does not work does not eat. I'm not going to see, if you're on the edge of the bay and your fishing bucket is empty and I got a bunch of fish, I'm going to feed you one time. But if I come back and you're still there and you're not giving the effort to fish on your own, I will not feed you. So when Trump got in office the first time, that's one thing I like. He stopped letting lazy people get assistance. Understand if you can't help yourself and you're disabled or something, that is totally different. Hear me out. That's different. Being disabled, being where you can't work or do anything, that's different than having the ability and sitting at home while I work my butt off and you live off of me. That's different. But to sit here and try to diversify us as a country and to take this one shooting to take this one shooting and make it a situation to where it's about parties, races, and groups is just sickening. Sickening. We got a big problem in America. And that's one of the issues. Because nobody wants to hear you speak the truth half the time. Because we are sitting back in a society of entitlement and okayness. Oh, it's okay. That's all right. Entitlement. Everybody's included. That is not how you were raised. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. That's what you got when you didn't listen. Well, back to this Trump thing. So now that they're pointing fingers at people in certain areas and certain things, nobody's actually taking time to understand and worry about that this is attempted murder. Attempted unaliving. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you tuning in, bro. That means a lot to me. Keep on. Hey, you get a chance, share. Anybody that's out here watching, please share the podcast on YouTube or just go into my link, share the link on your page on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever platform you have. Hey, it's not about the quantity, but the quality. Thank you. But back to this. The fact that this was allowed to happen, and we have some of the best national security in the world. Let's go back. Same thing. I'm going to tell you how we really slacking. Do you guys not remember that Joe Biden's presidential security detail got robbed in California? Listen, can we not talk about that? That's what's swept beneath the rug. What are we really doing? How did that happen? How you be national security, the best in your field? Because you have to be the best in your field to guard the president. These guys have done tours overseas. They're top-notch police. These are the matter of fact, this is the division. This is the all-star team of policity. That's ain't a real word. I made that word up, policity. The guys that do national security are the top cops. How do you allow yourself to get robbed? And what are you doing out there by yourself anyway like that to get robbed? But that's the type of detail we got going right now. So with all that being added up, Donald Trump almost got taken out because his security detail was not on their business. Let's keep it 100% real. Don't blame the lady that's the head of security stuff, because when you know you're coming to town, the city knows, the state knows, the FBI knows, and it's the president-elect. It's the president, a guy running for president, head of the party. You don't think security was already beefed up and knew what was going on? So how did this boy get up on top of the building and do what he did? Can I say something to y'all without y'all getting upset with me? Because I know some people will get angry. I'm going to keep it 100% real, y'all. This coming out loud. Please, we in America, let's keep it real. If that had been a black guy, he couldn't have made it to that building like that, y'all. I'd applaud that, because let's be for real. I'm going to keep it real. Y'all want to get upset about stuff I say sometimes, but it's real. Hey, I got you. Hey, I feel you, Powder. I feel you, Pool. Let's keep it 100% real. We're going to keep it real. He was able to blend in because of the diversity that we have created in America between each other. Because the fact that when you go to some of these rallies, if you go to a Democrat rally, let's keep it real, it's majority black people there. You go to a Republican rally, conservative rally, it's majority white people. This young man was able to walk through that crowd beforehand where people saw him and knew what was going on and got up on that roof and nobody thought nothing about it. They reported it. They could have stopped it, but didn't say nothing about it. That's just like if you go to a Democrat rally. It's a bunch of black people. If a black man walks around and does some things, nobody's going to say nothing about it because he fits in with the group. That's why when I heard about this happening, I knew this could not be brown skin. Because you'd have not been able to get up there with no problem. It'd have been an altercation. Number one, why are you carrying a gun around? Number two, what are you doing at this building? Number three, what are you doing up here? That's where I'm going at. Why didn't they ask him that? The officer see him. The officer, when they hiked up there, they went up there, and the officer saw him, and the guy pointed the gun. The officer ducked behind. I understand you feel for your life, but when you take that job, if I work at McDonald's and I go into the kitchen and they hand me a spatula, and I see burger patties on the grill, I'm not going to run. I got hired at McDonald's. I know I'm flipping burgers. If I'm a dog catcher, there's loose dogs outside. Somebody hand me the little dog noose thing and the dog's running around. I'm not going to run. I'm a dog catcher. You signed on to be a police officer. I'm not saying you need to put your life in danger. That's not what I'm saying. But you knew the danger of the job you were doing. So you go up on top of the building, knowing that what you just saw, you don't call for backup, you don't call for help, you dug down yourself, you don't pull your weapon or nothing. And moments later, this young man killed someone else, unalived a rally supporter, and almost took out the soon-to-be president. And you not one time thought about stopping it? I thought that was your job, was to be a hero. Something's not right about this whole situation. And I think the wrong people are being blamed. I think to investigate more because something is not right. All I can say is this. As this is jacked up, we in America, y'all, we deal with stuff like this all the time. And it's just the fact that in the line of fire is where we ended up at. But for all of y'all out here that are cops and security and security detail, federal agents, wherever y'all are, protect yourself. But understand, you're always on the call of duty. All right, y'all, I'm going to take a little quick break for this agua real fast. Yes, indeedy. Okay, y'all, I got something I'm going to get into now that's going to be kind of, this really going to hit home. The Donald Trump thing made me do some more researching because now I'm going to go into pop culture. Now, you know, we've had shows out here that have this prophetic gift of kind of telling you what's going on or what's going to happen. Example, the Boondocks. Now, in my culture, brown skin culture, the Boondocks was a comedy staple of realism. Now, the Boondocks hit on things that right now are coming to pass. They hit on Diddy with the Gangstalicious. With the man starting to wear man clothes, the little man parties and things like that. They hit on Tyler Perry with the plays, how he was staging, setting up plays so he can be closer to man. They hit on COVID with the chicken flu thing when people were going crazy. They hit, matter of fact, they hit on the chicken sandwiches before they even came out. You remember how Popeyes, we had the chicken sandwich war, and Popeyes people was going crazy because they was putting something in the chicken? They spoke on that. And they spoke on the alphabet rappers. And when I say alphabet, y'all know I'm not trying to make nobody mad. I'm saying alphabet because I don't know how everybody was saying it, but I'm talking about rappers that they get along with each other better than they need to. Wink, wink. They spoke on all that. And they basically got canceled and ran off of TV because they were speaking so much realism. Now, they survived for 3 seasons, I want to say. So it was kind of to the point where people were kind of irritated, and they kept getting sued by people and things because of the parodies were so on point. The parodies were so on point. The parodies were so there. It's like nobody wanted to really be exposed the way they did. They exposed everybody real bad. Now, KP, you can sort of back me up on this. The exposure and the open door, the way the Boondocks broke it down was just ridiculous. I mean, they hit every no subject was untouched. So, but 1989, well, actually 1987, another piece of pop culture hit America and left a stain, a big old burning stain that still burns today. Now, the stain ain't a bad stain, but it's a stain nevertheless because of the way it's popping people and exposing situations. In 1987, a show by the name of The Simpsons started to air. Now, The Simpsons creator is Matt Groening. Now, if you know The Simpsons, if you know The Simpsons, you know what I'm about to get into. Now, for years, The Simpsons have been a staple in American homes as comedy relief, as a straight out satire on family living, but it's also been the biggest predictor of the future that I've ever seen. And that's my subject, the time machine called The Simpsons. Now, I don't know if Matt Groening has a time machine or what is going on, if he has access to people. But the fact that this show has predicted so many major events in America has you thinking. Now, allegedly, you already know, there are rumors going around saying that there's something going on with this show in a connection to the future. Their episode with the smartwatches, way before smartwatches even came out, The Simpsons was on that. They had it pegged to the T. All the things that we've been dealing with, they've had pegged forever. The richest man. They had an episode about a young man who was going to eventually invest in some things and some stocks and become the richest man. And that man did become the richest man exactly. Y'all, we got to start paying attention. I told y'all that. The sleight of hand. You're busy worrying about this, but not worrying about this. And things are sliding through. Something's going on to where this show has access to information that it should not. I'm going to break it down. Some instances. 2004, The Simpsons had a episode of the volcano eruption. Massive volcano eruption that evacuated people. They needed life help for those. The community that was it just got destroyed. Now, the volcano had been sitting dormant for years, never supposed to explode, and all of a sudden it did. So why in 2021 in Spain, a dormant volcano erupts? Almost to the T, to the letter, the exact situation that was portrayed on The Simpsons happened in this European town. Now, some of y'all might say that might be, some of y'all might say it's just a coincidence. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay. In the 2000s, in the 1990s, one of the first episodes, matter of fact, it was 87. I want to go back. It was 87. The first season of The Simpsons. There was an episode about them feeding horse meat to the children at the school. There was about horse meat feeding children at the school. Well, in 2014, it came out that there was a scandal in a European school where they had been feeding the children horse meat. I don't know how they knew this. I don't know where they got this information from, but they were on the ball. It's like, where do you get to? I mean, how did you know this? And this is and please look these things up because you can look them up. Let's go to 2010 episode. Milhouse, the nerdy neighbor that's in love with Lisa Simpson, Bart's best friend, the guy with the glasses, the nerd next door, predicts 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners. 2014, 2016, both those guys won a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know how. They're saying it's the trend, but remember, Nobel Peace Prize is voted in secrecy. You don't even know who's on the list. That's like finding a needle in a haystack. The Nobel Peace Prize is the most hidden, secretive voting process I've ever seen in my life. You never know who's on there. Matter of fact, I don't even know when they vote for the thing. They predicted that. 1994, on The Simpsons, they were talking about autocorrect on your cell phone. Now, this technology wasn't even available to be thought about back then. It was not in process. It was not in any type of beginning stages. It's just something that didn't exist at all. 2005, we get autocorrect on your phone. That's when you go to talking to your phone or spell something and the phone corrects it for you. That wasn't on phones or computers. I mean, just think it wasn't on phones or computers at all during that time. 1994, they predicted this and it happened in 2005. 1997, the episode where they're ordering stuff from overseas from China and they get a virus. The virus has people up in arms. They're giving misinformation on the virus. They're giving miscalculation on the deaths. They're trying to find a cure. Everything's breaking out. They shut everything down. And in 2020, we get COVID. Went down the same way. If you watch the Simpsons episode, you'll be like, the parallels between that is just crazy. Now that leads me to closer stuff. They had an episode, y'all, with Kobe Bryant. Now remember, this was years before it happened. Kobe Bryant is in a helicopter. Helicopter runs into a building. The helicopter falls to the ground and Kobe Bryant dies. You guys, I can't make this up. I'm going to give you 3 guesses how Kobe Bryant died. And the first 2 don't count. Yes, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter. His private helicopter. 2019. First, The Simpsons was the first to predict. Also, too, The Simpsons was the first to predict the voting machine problems. They predicted Biden. They predicted Obama becoming president. They predicted Biden. How they did with Biden was, what they did was, Mr. Burns, the owner of the factory Homer works at, an old senile guy, can't remember nothing, ran for president and got put in office. And sure enough, his whole demeanor and composure was the same as Joe Biden. They predicted Donald Trump becoming president. 2019, they did an episode where Donald Trump is at a rally dancing with other members of Congress as the president, and he gets shot. Guess what happened July 14th, 2024? Y'all, these are my notes. I'm finna toss them. Because now what I'm going to say is going to be something that's going to shock some people, and it's going to make you think about things in general. Y'all, things we see every day are not what they are. For that show to predict that many things that accurate, something is going on. Now, if you follow my channel and you watch my podcast, I did a show before last season where I was talking about the sleight of hand and reality that we live in. There is more going on, y'all, than what we know. From aliens to conspiracies to lies. What you see is not what's always real. We've got to start believing and understanding when people are telling us things, everybody's not crazy. Everybody's not lost their mind. Some of the stuff, you guys, is true, but we've been programmed to not believe the truth all the time. We've been programmed to believe what they tell us to believe. Now, I don't know if Mr. Matt Groening has a time machine, if he really can tell the future, or if he has a prophetic ear for this type of thing. But for the fact that he's predicted so many things right. This show got going in 1987. Y'all, that is almost 40 years. And this man has predicted, I just mentioned a few things. There's more things that were predicted I never even spoke about. To have that much accuracy in your show is just simply awe-inspiring. It makes the mind wonder what's really going on, don't it? Think about it. Do you really know what's really happening around you? Or are you just walking around every day just with the blinkers off? Do you really understand where you actually live? Do you really understand what's really going on? All the technology we have, people get me when they doubt. People just get me when they doubt what's really going on around them. Oh, that can't be true. Oh, they made that up. That's not right. Yo, we have AI. AI can make anything possible. I was watching YouTube and saw a guy put a mask on. They have these masks that look realistic where you can be a different race, a different gender. They got a whole bodysuit. You can make yourself a man, a woman. You can make yourself an animal if you want to. This stuff is ridiculous. Not only that, the crossbreeding of animals, plants, sea life. Y'all, we're in a time where things aren't always what they seem. So we gotta be careful. Because if you don't do anything else, you need to make sure you're watching The Simpsons. Because that is a life, true to life time machine. Well, y'all, to thank y'all for tuning in tonight's episode. I thank y'all so much, man, because you could be anywhere else, but you chose to be with me. And that's where you need to be. Where I want to be. Doom, 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 with my homies. Yeah. So I want to thank all those who tuned in. I want to thank Raj E3. I want to thank Chris Pooh. I want to thank, also want to go ahead and give a shout out to Jeff also. Anybody that tuned into the show that commented, y'all will make the show go. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the phone calls. I appreciate the lines in the bottom of the screen, y'all. I appreciate anything when y'all giving love. Remember with me, it's never the quantity, it's the quality. And I just thank y'all so much for just showing love to me, man, showing love to what I do, showing love to what I got going on, and making sure y'all tune in every week, man. Like I said, I try to bring y'all what's real. As I always say, this is my show. This is my commentary. You ain't gonna like everything I put on here. But I'm going to come real and give you the best I can. Every time and all time. And with that being said, I want to say a shout out to the artist Untitled for my theme song, Tribe Vibes. Hey, much love to y'all, man. Keep looking out for everything I got going on. Big things. Follow me on my YouTube. Motivational Muscle 74, Motivational Muscle 74, Muscle MUZCLE. Follow me on Facebook at Ontario Hill. A blue check mark verified. If the Facebook feed went off, don't worry. I will share this link for you on Facebook so you can get a chance to check it out. Hey, I got an Instagram too, y'all. And I got a TikTok. That's right. Your boy's on TikTok, man. Y'all gotta go check me out. Much love to y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all evening as I enjoy being with y'all. And all I can say to that is peace.
Quality's dead. I was built from strong threads. Watch my working just like COVID-19. It's fun to be a tough spread. Now I got your attention. Let's switch dimensions. I think they need me in this competition. Thanks to influences, it's my ambition. Also envision my path so I complete the mission. Yeah, I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest. I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest. I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless regardless of all the pain and the stress. Say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. I'll say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best.
Glass House Mix.